Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman 2, and it's the final part of Megaman 2. And we start off with one of the most ear-grating sounds in 8-bit history. The Wiley's spacecraft, or whatever the fuck it is. I guess it's Megaman, just Wiley's ship. So yeah, in this part we are just finishing off the game, and we're starting off by going through Wiley's fortress, and this music is fucking amazing. I love this music so much. And of course we get loads of these fucking bird enemies again. I hate these bird enemies. They're just fucking annoying. But oh, cheap. My invincibility phrase right out of the last second there. And yeah, so you need to use in the Wiley Fortress levels, more so than the other stages in the game, more so than in the other stages, you know, like the Robot Master stages. These require a more heavy, what's the word I'm looking for? It's basically a more heavy and more varied use of your items. Like you know, it gets you to use like the majority of your weapons, the majority of items that you've picked up through the game, like item 1, item 2, and item 3. And just all around, they're just the hardest levels, hardest stages in the whole game. It's not exactly ridiculously hard, I will say that. Especially when you got the metal blades. Oh, I love those metal blades. They are... God. The metal blades are like pretty much the... What am I thinking about? Oh yeah, they're pretty much the most broken weapon in the... at least in classic Mega Man. Maybe even in the other X Mega Man series as well, like X and Zero and Battle Network. I'm surprised that they were never brought back at any point, but I guess it's just something that always happens. Nope, wrong one. I need item 1 here. I remember the first time I played this game, oh, I found this so fucking hard. I hated this section because the timing of the... you can only use 3 platforms at once, and you need 4 platforms to go over, so you need to time it pretty much spot on. And it's kind of annoying to... It's kind of annoying, but you know, this is my second time beating the game fully. No, third actually. Third time beating the game fully. So by this point I know what I'm doing. And fuck. I say that as I die. And this is the Mecha Dragon, I believe is this enemy's name. This is the boss of this level. Basically, oh, look at that sprite flickering. Basically, stand on that top block, fire a load of quick boomerangs into his face, and if you get hit at all by him, which you probably will once or twice, you get knocked onto the middle block, and then you can just jump back up and wail on his face, and he'll die relatively quickly. Yeah, that boss is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. The hardest part is the quick platforming, because you have to kind of be... Well, like the name suggests, you have to be quick with your platforming. Like, you can't just go all slow and all that kind of shit. You have to be careful with it. And here, this was this part had me very, very nervous, because oh my god, I'm down to my last. Oh fucking hell, that was tight. Tom, just drop. Oh, for God's sake, Tom. You can jump. Drop by I think just jumping. If you jump, then you. Yeah. And this is the other bit that makes Mega Man, the Wiley stages kind of harder. Where was I? Fuck. Oh shit. What makes them harder is the fact that between each stage your items don't replenish. Your weapon energy doesn't replenish, so you just have to be extremely careful. And that's kind of a... yeah, best thing to do is to use the metal... what am I talking about? The leaf shield there. Gets rid of them pretty easily. It's one of the other reasons why you maybe could go after... God, look at that sprite. Look at that. The sprite flickering. Sprite flickering is terrible here. Actually, Megaman has a lot of sprite flickering. And I think the biggest reason for that is that Megaman himself is actually made up of 2 sprites. He's just... it's basically 2 sprites laid on top of each other because basically on the NES color palette, one sprite is only allowed to have 4 colors, and the bog standard Mega Man sprite has more than 4 because it has the skin color, it has the light blue, it has the dark blue, it has a bit of yellow on the helmet, and it also has a black and white, so it has 6 colors on the bog standard Mega Man sprite, and so therefore it needs 2 sprites laid on top of each other to kind of create that kind of detail of a sprite. It was actually done in the same thing was done for Sonic Pocket Adventure on the Neo Geo Pocket. And as a result, obviously, 2 sprites laid on top of each other causes a lot of sprite flickering because it's pushing the NES to its limit, pretty much. Anyway, that boss there was one of, in my opinion, the easiest boss in the whole game. At least not in the whole game, or in the Wiley Fortress. It's the easiest of the bosses that you're going to go up against. It's a pretty straightforward boss. The music here changes up for this stage. This is a pretty fun... I like the level. I also like this little bit of platforming. It's not hard, but it just looks... it's just kind of cool to see the like robotic fish jumping out and trying to grab you. This section is bullshit. I hate this section so fucking much because that's why. I died here about 5 or 6 times, and yeah, it's such a pain in the arse. It's that tight bit of platforming where you have to kind of go to a little bit to the right and then a little bit to the left and then a little bit further to the left, and you know, the time between each section is kind of hard to judge. It's kind of annoying. So yeah, I pretty much game overed that section. One thing I will say about the Mega Man sections in the Wiley Castle, they're all relatively short. And here I completely forgot. Basically, this is called the Guts Dozer. His weakness is the quick boomerang, so just fire the quick boomerang into his face, jump up, fire it into his face, jump up, fire it into his face, and you're done. And that's the end of the Guts Dozer. Another really simple boss. It's one of the major problems with... I say problems, because it's not really an issue for me personally, but I guess you could use the argument that the Mega Man, like the boss, like the Wiley Fortress, is not that hard, and it isn't really that hard. It's probably the easiest of the Wiley Fortresses, and it's pretty much the easiest game as well, which is why I was able to beat it, because I suck at old school games. I especially suck at Mega Man, because this is the only Mega Man game I've ever beaten. Fuck. Die. To be fair, I've only tried 1, 2 and 3. 1 is really fucking hard, actually. I don't think I'll ever beat that game. But I want to beat 3 at some point. But it's getting the time to actually, beat it. I've got to play Rise of the Tomb Raider. Great game, by the way. So, yeah, you have to be careful with these sections. There are these hidden pits. The best way to get past these, if you don't know where they are, and you won't first time round, is to use the bubble lead. Because, there you go. I wonder if there's a hole there. Because you shoot it down and it tells you, that's where they are. So yeah, that's the best way to go about it in these sections. Especially here, where it's got, dangerous insta-kill spikes. So it's best to just use some use common sense, use up your bubble lead, and obviously the same deal there. There's loads of holes there, so I never go for the E-tank. Let's just go through. Let's get this game done. This section. This section is also really, really annoying, but it's made easy by the fact that you can just turn on the leaf shield and just blast the living shit out of him, but and just leave it on. It completely negates all these enemies. But I think this section goes on a bit too long for my own personal tastes. Shit, that was close. Shit, I died. that was stupid. So yeah, I say that this Wiley Fortress isn't too hard, and it isn't. But equally, some of the stages, some of the platforming challenges can be a bit of a pain in the arse. So yeah, I don't like this. This section, it goes on a bit too long. I think if they'd done like 2 or 3 of these and then maybe changed up the platforming challenge a little bit sooner, then I think that would have worked better. But I'm not going to complain too much about it. Screw off. So yeah, should have finished there, and then you should have had another different platforming challenge maybe at this point. But meh, what can you do? So here, best thing to do is you can either wait for it to come round to you, or I just use item 2. Yay, let's go down, and away we go. And now it's pretty much a straight path with a few enemies in that go straight through the door. I show that off there. Yay, I didn't show that off earlier. But yeah, skills. Yeah, basically the best option there is to best option with that gear with these is to use the air shooter. It destroys their mechs in one hit. But at this point, I'm really not that interested. I just want to get going. Come on. Yeah, that's it. And is it the one I'm thinking of? Oh shit, it's the one I'm thinking of. Oh no. This is the infamous part of Megaman 2, really. This is the crash bomb boss. Basically, you have just enough crash bombs. I'm sorry. You just have just enough crash bombs to destroy all of them, and you have to do them in a certain pattern. And what I'm doing here is showing off a little trick which you can do, which is the pause trick. And yeah, you see the sprite. How many times am I going to make that mistake? Sprite flickering is really horrific in this section. Yeah, it's such. I hate that. I fucking hate. Yeah, so this is pretty much the simplest way you're going to be able to beat the boss. So you pause it, wait for the projectiles to go through you, and then unpause, and you can keep going. It makes this fight a hell of a lot slower. It also makes the fight probably not the best to watch from a viewer's point of view in terms of me pausing every few seconds, but yeah, this is just the much easiest way to do it, and this is the easiest. I would say this is the easiest section. I would say that this is the most annoying boss in the game. This is the boss which I don't like. I just cannot fucking stand this boss. And fuck. This boss took me 4 or 5 attempts to get right. And it's because of my health was affected so badly in the last in the section leading up to this, because, you know, obviously it's hard to avoid the sniper Joes, is that what they're called? Yeah. It's hard to avoid them, and you're always going to take some damage, and I also was on my last life, so I couldn't really... Yes! We're nearly done! One more crash bomb! One more crash bomb! Shoot him in the face! There you go. And that's the end of the most pain in the ass boss in the whole game. Not the hardest, it's just the most... It's just a pain in the ass. It is a lot of trial and error, and if you use up all your crash bombs, you have to start the stage all over again to get... You have to game over to get fresh crash bombs. Anyway, so now it's time for... Yep, time to cut. I am not doing it. So yeah, I just cut past all the... Because we've seen all the 8 Robot Masters, there's nothing new to see there. You've seen them all before. And now I'm just laying into him. This is the best way to do it. Get your metal blades out and just shoot, shoot, shoot. Just keep shooting, and there you go, we're done. Sprite flickering again is absolutely horrific. So yeah, I probably said this earlier on, and probably in the first part, I would have guessed. If I haven't, whoops. I'm playing this on the Megaman Legacy Collection on the PlayStation 4. You can also get it on Xbox One, PC, and I think it's been announced for February on 3DS, if you want to get it on 3DS. This is pretty much the best way to play them, because it's basically has all the it's basically taking the original NES formula, you know, the original NES game, and pretty much preserving everything about the original games. Which does mean, yes, sprite flickering, sprite overload, and all those negative things, but it also gives you, I think, a more kind of overall... It gives you the closest experience possible to the original NES game without having to go out and buy an original NES and buying a Mega Man 2 cartridge, which is fucking expensive. So here we go, the final boss is Alien. Yeah, interesting final boss. Basically, I died to this thing so many fucking times my first try. My first playthrough, and my second playthrough, but I've steadily got better. It took me about 15 times my first time out, 10 my second time, and this time it took me, 5 deaths. I mean, logically, you look at it and it's pretty much just, he goes in a figure 8 pattern, and he shoots a load of these projectiles. Don't run into him, it causes, like, that's half your health bar gone. So yeah, just try and avoid him at all costs. Take the hit from the shots that he fires if that's what it takes, and just keep using the bobblehead. It's the only thing that affects him. It takes about 6 hits, I think, to take him out, whereas he can take you out in like 4. So it's actually quite a fair boss fight. And yeah, the only thing that makes it slight trick is the fact that the bobblehead is the only thing that does it, which goes to the floor, and he's always in the air, so it's kind of annoying. But anyway, after that, we've beaten Dr. Wiley, and he sits there begging for forgiveness. And yeah, we kicked his ass. And now we have this rather bizarre ending cinematic, which I actually really like. I like the music. It's kind of it's very sad and kind of ominous. I also like the stuff that they do with all the like the change in the seasons. So we've gone from autumn to the winter, and now we're going to spring. And I like the fact that Megaman changes with the changes colour along with the changing of the seasons. And now we've got rain. I guess this is like in between spring and summer. And then we finally get to summer. Where is it? And there we go, Megaman looking at it rather ominously. And I don't know what this was trying to do. I guess maybe it was trying to say, you know, I don't know what he was trying to say. I guess maybe they were just trying to make it more poignant. But then it doesn't matter because we've now got the kick-ass Mega Man 2 final theme. And that's it. Mega Man 2 is done. It's a fantastic game. I love this game so much. It's one of my favourite kind of old school NES games. I would say that the level difficulty is... it's hard. Especially by today's game standards, but it's not like ridiculously bullshit hard. I also think that it is the easiest in the Mega Man series, and if you're going to start anywhere, start with 2. Skip 1, start with 2. I would also say try, if you like 2, go for 3. I would also say 6, 9 and 9 as well. They're sort of the best ones. Not to say that the rest of them are shit, it's just that, you know, 4 and 5 are kind of dull. 7 is decent, but it has a ridiculously hard final boss. And 8 is a bit too easy. But anyway, that is it for Mega Man 2. I would say that the levels are fun to go through. The soundtrack is absolutely incredible. It's a fantastic soundtrack. One of the best... it's up there with like Super Mario Brothers, the original Sonic, and like Zelda, the original Zelda, in terms of just brilliant soundtracks that are just iconic. I love this game. Pick up this game and pick up the collection, Legacy Collection, play it. It's awesome. Anyway, that's it for Mega Man 2. I might come back into the Mega Man series at some point. I'll see if next time for the next playthrough. See you for the next playthrough. Bye.